Well, the fact of the matter is that people bring this entire slavery argument up because they want to make God a bad guy, right? Because we
No,
see it in the Old Testament, right?
no,
Right.
Vekl has explained this on many occasions. If you want to do it again, Vekl, go for it.
well, I'm not asking
Version.
to explain the slavery thing. My point was going to be that, like, we make all these apologetics for, like, okay, why was slavery, why were the rules with
It's
slavery
not
back then? So,
apologetics. It's not
I'm a
apologetics.
Kobe apologist.
explanations?
Justification.
Yeah, I mean, okay, you want to roll explanations and justifications together, I call that apologetics. So there's apologetics made for why there are rules about slavery and why God just didn't flat out not condone it. But, like, I don't see why we make all these justifications for that, but then suddenly it's like commanding them to not wear fabrics, that are mixed, or not
It's
make
for that time. That
It's
time
still
has
Yeah.
passed.
Got it.
Yeah, no, but, like, what was he, like? How would it ever be logical to think to that?
He
While
was
he's
perfecting a certain group of people, Star, so that the Messiah could come
perfecting
through.
doesn't include slavery.
That's not true.
I did. Okay.
That's
I
not
want to
true.
consider that perfection to include slaves, but not sea fish or seafood.
I am
Shellfish.
saying that he was perfecting a certain group of people so that the Messiah could come through it. Jesus Christ is the Messiah. That's what I'm
Slavery
saying.
was,
Well, Christ
slavery was
wasn't a
terrible.
slave.
Slavery was terrible.
Christ
And
wasn't a
as a
slave.
white
That's
person,
right, Star. He was no slave. He was God in flesh.
Like,
I really
no, I'm saying, like,
white
if
people
God had
shouldn't
said,
defend slavery. It
if
really
he
makes
Died.
you guys
He
look
died
bad.
for you, brothers.
I'm saying if God had, like, said, "Thou shalt not own another human being," like,
Yeah.
what would have changed that, like, all of a sudden we could not have had Jesus?
First of all, let me ask you a question, Star.
Very good.
Sure, Vekl.
I mean, before you even bring up this topic, whether or not slavery is immoral, how do you explain
Slavery
what is
is
and
immoral.
How do you know that?
Is that not completely off topic?
No.
I can explain that.
Yeah, let's.
No, literally starting your question with, like, putting away everything I just brought up.
Yeah,
Let me
because
ask you this
because
question.
that's what it
That
all
is
boils down
literally-
to. I mean,
that is
Rev,
literally
Rev,
outside.
Let's,
No,
let's
it's
bring it back to.
Jesus
not.
Christ freed
I'm not-
all the slaves
I-
on Calvary.
I'm
Really?
not.
Wait.
I'm
Rev,
not-
Rev hit it right on the
Let's
head.
do that.
Rev,
I'm
Rev
not
hit
making a
it.
case whether it's moral or not.
Okay, but Rev hit it right on the head in the very beginning. He says that the reason why atheists bring this up is because they always want to try to point the finger and accuse God of being some immoral monster.
So did you not hear
That
me when
is
I was
immoral.
consistently saying no? That's not why I'm bringing it up. Is that
Okay,
is
so
that,
why are you bringing it up then?
Because I'm having the question of why,
Vekl
why,
has explained this constantly. I
But
mean,
Vekl-
in the Old
No,
in the
time out.
Old Testament, there
Time
was a
out.
theocracy to bring about the
Oh, it's very
Messiah.
loud.
Oh, time out.
And not
Slavery-
only that, not only that, but again, I mean, again, there were 4 cases. I can't remember for the life of me.
They
what
don't
the
want to
fourth
hear
case
this,
was.
brother. They
Wait a
just
minute,
want to
no.
fight.
I'm asking
No,
what
they
part was
Right,
required,
right, man.
where
They
shellfish needed to be banned, but not slaves.
But I'll say it anyway. Rev, you're absolutely right. They don't want to hear it. But I'll say it
Slave
anyway.
owners wrote
There
the
were
Bible.
4 cases for slavery. I can't remember for the life of me what the 4th one was. Maybe I can't even remember the 3rd one either. But there were, as far as I know, the Bible talks about slavery on several levels. Number 1, God commanded slavery to be a practice during times of war. Okay, so if
No,
you
he
look at
didn't.
Deuteronomy 20 or Numbers 31, which is the two areas that atheists love to point Christians to, we see God clearly commanding slavery to be practiced on account of
Say the verse.
Israel.
Do the verse. Say the verse. I want to hear the
Well,
verse.
no, it's not just one verse. I mean, it's a whole bunch of them. But
Okay, well, give me.
Where
give
is
me
this
the best-
going?
give me
slow
the
down,
best
slow down,
verse.
rapper, slow down,
Give me
slow
the
down.
best verse, and I'll
The
admit I'm
Bible,
wrong.
They don't want to hear
Deuteronomy-
this, Vekl.
Yeah,
They
they
just
don't
want to
wanna hear
fight.
it.
Stop
Deuteronomy-
referring
They just wanna
to
fight.
Stop referring to me and Rapper right now as them or the atheists. Okay.
Okay, all right. Well, Deuteronomy 20 and Numbers 31, those are the clearest examples of God deliberately commanding slavery to be
Sure.
practiced. Why?
Can you tell me the
Because
verse? I'm not familiar
It was
with it.
during times of war. They were against. It was the enemy.
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Christian brothers backing me up. But anyway, it was during times of war. Okay.
Okay.
Instead of taking everybody and wiping out the whole nation, God commanded that some of them would be taken as slaves. Okay, so that's one instance. The other instance is, if a person, let's say, if I stole something from peripheral profit, let's say, and then
Why
I
are
get
you
caught,
like? I'm sorry
if
to
I got
interrupt.
caught, one of the ways I can pay him back is if I didn't have any money, then I had to act as a slave for a certain period of
Vekl,
time.
you're not answering my question. You're answering questions other people have been proposing to you. I'm not asking for the clarification of when did God allow this or why did God allow this in certain circumstances. I'm saying what justification is needed that shellfish needed to be bound outright, yet slaves were kind of a matter which was, well, I guess it's necessary for Jesus to come back.
Oh my God. This is
Okay, wait,
insane.
Because those are two different things that you're mixing apples and oranges. Okay.
Thank you.
No,
The
what
issue-
was
no,
what
no,
is
no, wait,
required
let me
that
finish.
You just
shellfish-
want to fight, Star.
Let me finish.
Rev,
Star,
stop
let me.
shouting.
You
And
just
also-
want to fight.
Yeah, he
Rev,
does.
Rev, your
fight.
volume is extremely loud, and you keep
no.
shouting into the mic,
Star,
which
let me.
isn't helping.
Star, you
Rev,
gotta let me
shouting
finish.
doesn't make you right.
Star, look. Before I even answer the question, just tell me whether or not you even want to engage in this conversation.
I do want to engage in the conversation. I would ask
Okay.
whether you are,
Then you
because you're not
can't-
answering my question.
I'm answering the question, but you just don't like the answer.
Why are you explaining
Just like
4
most
different ways that
God
slavery is
said certain
Because you don't wanna hear
things at a certain time to bring
First of
about
all,
the
what-
Messiah.
right?
Come
And
on,
I
Mr.
asked
Star, listen.
what
want to.
part was
I'm
required.
going to answer
where-
your question,
and I'm
Star, but you got to give me a
Right,
chance.
why-
All of the
I
law
take it
was
that you don't wanna hear
required
the
to
Rev,
answer.
bring
stop
about the
cutting in.
Messiah.
Rev, cutting in
so
is not
it's
helping
just a
right
matter
now,
of
Rev.
muting
Hey, I gotta-
everybody until
Star
you
doesn't
all
wanna hear the
fucking
answer.
shut up. Okay.
Can we bring up a new topic?
He doesn't want to hear the answer.
Okay, so
Vekl.
everybody, please be quiet for a moment. It's no good talking over each other, otherwise there is no conversation. Okay? Please try to wait to the end of someone's sentence before interjecting with another point. That is not going to get us anywhere. That only gets us to one-on-one conversation, and there are more people in this room want to talk about the subject than just 2 people.
I think we should switch the
Please
subject.
respect the fact you're in a multi-way conversation, not just talking back and forth over each other. Thank you.
Can we have a vote of who want to switch the subject?
Well,
or
let me
we wanna
just
let these two go
respond. I mean, because I
one-on-one?
think Star is asking a legitimate question. However, he's just got to give me a chance to respond.
Because
Did you really just
I know,
interrupt him
I
after
know
Simon
Vekl
said to not
stands
interrupt
on
people?
slavery. I know he's for slavery, which is weird for a black person to be for
Oh,
slavery.
stop. Okay,
It
now I'm
is,
gonna
it is,
because
it
now you
is.
don't know what you're
Vekl.
talking about. See, now you're just talking nonsense, rapping ape.
No, Vekl. Simon
I
literally
really
got on
think you
mic
need
to
to
tell
stop smoking the
everyone.
weed. Stop
Vekl.
smoking the weed.
Vekl, Simon literally just muted everybody to tell us to stop cutting people off.
Okay,
And
but I
literally
was talking.
every time someone has tried to
I
say
was
something
talking
after
and-
this, you
I
have
was
tried to
talking,
mute them.
and the rapping atheist interrupted me.
Okay, I think we all need to chill.
You
Just
see what you see
take a
what's
breath.
happening here?
I told you we should change the
Star
conversation.
Splitter asked me a question. I start to answer. He hears the first 3 words of my response and disagrees and starts interrupting me, and then everybody else jumps in.
So
Let
by the
Vekl
first
answer the
3,
question.
wait,
Let Vekl
Rapid
answer.
Atheist.
Everybody-
It's
Wait,
fair.
by the
It's fair
first-
to answer.
Simon,
By the
can you do
first-
Moderate
something?
to speak, if you wouldn't mind. Okay,
By-
what Vekl just said, Vekl is of course guilty of doing himself. He's not saying that he's not guilty of it. He's just pointing out that is the behavior that's happening. Really, we need to keep the points concise because there are a lot of people in the room. Okay, if you're going to ramble on, then people will try and interrupt. So make your point and then let the next person speak.
My response would be
The
that
question, I'd like to start it off again from a neutral ground, right? Sideways, please ask your question. I know it's not more than 10 words.
Can we
Please
put the
ask
time
it
limit?
again, and then one of the Christians, please answer it.
Okay.
Simon, wait, hold on, Simon. You should do a time
Yes.
limit so it doesn't go on and on. It's a lot of
Uh,
people in here, and you should have a time limit. Because if everyone
Sure.
gets like 5 minutes, that's like 25.
That's why I just appeal to everybody to moderate themselves and keep their answers relatively concise.
Right.
I think we should
Okay.
have a official moderator if they're going to do this, because this is going to
Okay.
be a heated.
Sure,
Right.
Simon's official mod. Let's just keep going.
I'm afraid
All right.
it's going to be done
Yeah.
the way that I'm dictating it at the moment.
Right.
If you really wish to say something others and you wish to everybody else agrees with that, I would gladly change. Okay, but right now, this is the way it's going on. Sideways, I want you to ask the question again, and then we'll go round to peripheral. McKay, if you want to come in there. Vekl, let's have the Christians answer, and then the atheists. Okay, rapping atheist, and then back to sideways.
Okay.
Thank you.
Within doing this within 30 seconds. Okay. First, when Vekl says, I don't want to hear answer, whatever, projection, I don't care. The question I'm trying to go about is, what part of fulfilling the prophecy or whatever, or of having perfection, required such trivial things as shellfish need to be banned outright with no capitulation, yet things like slavery was kind of okay in certain manners here or there? Why is that the case?
Okay, peripheral.
I was typing. Can you skip me? I'll come back to
Okay,
this.
Vekl,
All right.
I would gladly like to respond to that.
please
Again,
do.
as I was going to say before, without any interruptions,
Please.
that what Sideways is doing here is a fallacious. It's basically a fallacious question. He's trying to equivocate the reason why God commanded such things as not mixing fabric and then slavery. Okay, there was a purpose. He said he commanded things like not mixing fabric. Okay, because that was symbolic of Israel being separated from the rest of the world, being a holy nation, a different people. Okay, people that he brought unto himself. That's vastly different from the reason that he commanded slavery. Okay, so the two things do not mix. I mean, he did not command the Israelites to do slavery in the same way that he commanded people to not eat shellfish or not mix fabric. Okay, those are two completely different reasons for him making those commandments. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, thank you. Rapping Atheist?
I'm gonna take I'm gonna take a page out of Kanye West and just say that God doesn't like black people.
Okay, fair enough. Star Splitter.
What?
Or Red.
So okay, right. If you want to try and come up with a realization for how mixed fabrics isn't just a commandment, along with all the other commands, and now it's symbolic. Fine. What part of shellfish needed to be banned for that whole entire time, yet slavery didn't?
Slavery's not even. Hey, can I take a chance at this, guys?
Yeah, go ahead.
Please do.
Sideways. Are you familiar? Have you read the Old Testament?
Yeah. Vekl, yeah. Do you want to not just do that, please? Thanks.
Wait, that probably was me. I accidentally cut off my mic and accidentally
Thank you, son.
blowing out smoke. That was me, probably.
No, Vekl making a side comment to character attack.
Oh.
But yeah, I have read the Old Testament.
Okay, so you know that in the Old Testament, that Mosaic law. Well, if you've read the Bible, you know that Mosaic law was not a permanent thing, correct?
Correct.
And you know that slavery.
To capitulate, there are certain people, I would probably say most Christians, don't accept that as something to be for all people, and there's interpretations that could, but yeah.
Well, if it's only for the Jews, so anybody who's not a Jew, it wasn't for. So, and you know that slavery predated the Jews in the Bible, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So the way in the Bible we look and we see a lot of negative situations, like Nebuchadnezzar, for example. God uses all situations to his advantage, right? So the Jews, whether God gave them the commandment or not, every nation had slaves around that time. They would have had Jews anyways. Wouldn't have mattered. God regulated it. Okay, God had a way to use that for His glory. Okay, it was never going to be a permanent thing. If you could look fast forward into the future where there was no slavery, that was the point. God knew that from day one. Like I said earlier too, if there was no slavery, we wouldn't even be we might not even actually exist right now, because history would be completely different. There wouldn't even be a frame of reference for slavery. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but it's definitely good in the regards that we've seen what it does and it's not productive in the past, right? But that's not to say, well, is God immoral? God's using every situation, and the way I like to explain that is that, you know, if a woman gets an abortion, for example, and Christians obviously we don't condone abortion, or we don't consider that anything other than to be a sin, right? But God will recover that situation. If a woman has an abortion, God will be there to pick that woman right back up. He's still going to get the glory from that situation. So there's no situation in the Bible where, yeah, you'll see a negative situation, you'll see Israel get invaded. I mean, God punished his own people more than anybody in the Bible. I mean, the Jews, of all people, have had the worst. I mean, they've been invaded how many times, kicked out of their homeland. God punished them more than anyone, you know. So we can look back to that time and say, yeah, slavery is not how we would do things from the 21st century perspective, but everybody was doing it back then. And I'm not validating it like that. I'm just saying that there is a narrative to follow and to understand why all these things happen, even the law, which is no longer in effect. I hope that makes sense. And I'm just, that's one of those take it or leave it situations. I'm not going to get in a back and forth with you about it.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Can I take a second to say something about that?
Yeah.
You know, if you ask me, it makes absolutely no sense for God to permit slavery, to separate families, torture, and send people through that.
I mean, okay, but that's not really responding to what he said.
Okay, yeah, I just had to. It's just hard as a black man to hear about the slavery subject, especially.
Listen, listen,
Unfortunately, that's why a lot of the atheists that are predominantly white bring it up all the time, especially with black Christians like myself.
Excuse me?
Rapping-
Yeah,
know-
that's true. You, don't
it's-
like
it's
what I
just,
said?
No, it's just
No,
like,
no, no. What's the explanation behind that?
I
What,
said,
me?
and I'll say it again. You want me to say it again?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah, because unfortunately, as a black Christian, I have a lot of white atheists bringing up that topic with me.
Maybe because you're defending it.
No,
It-
not because I'm
it's
defending
very
it, because
weird that
I'm a
No,
Christian.
no, no. Literally, I do not talk to anyone else about.
No,
about why slavery is
sir,
okay.
sir, you're
And
not
black
every,
atheists do
okay.
it to you,
Sir,
Vekl, too.
sir, you're not every atheist, okay? You don't
Oh,
know
well,
what
then
I've
don't.
been
Then
through.
why did you
Well,
say
Sir,
white
sir,
atheist?
you're not every
I'm a white
atheist. You don't-
atheist. You're including
Sir,
me.
I'm talking. Sir, I'm talking. You don't
Wait,
know. You're
but I was
not.
Okay,
talking
no,
first.
no,
I
you're
was
not
talking
going to
first.
make a comment like white atheists do things,
Sir,
and when
if
I'm
you
a white
let me
atheist,
finish-
Moderation,
I'm not allowed to
moderation,
finish.
moderation.
Moder-
Anybody?
Sir, if you let me
Okay.
finish,
Hello,
you
Rev.
understand.
I'm here. Okay, I'm here. All right. Now, if there was an accusation made, did you make that accusation, Vekl?
I didn't make any accusation. Okay,
I didn't
yet.
get to finish.
Okay, he didn't let me finish. He didn't like what I had to say. He didn't like the fact that I said white.
I didn't like what you had to say, but I'm
Yeah,
going to let
yeah.
you say it.
Yeah, a lot of
defend your
atheists
right.
don't
Can
like
I
it.
finish?
But I'm gonna tell you.
I will
Let-
defend
please-
your right to say it.
Okay,
Please
well,
qualify the statement.
yes,
if
I have
it-
the right to say this
if you
because
please qualify the
Vekl,
statement.
go,
if
can
you
I-
I'm
intend
about to
do
qualify,
so.
but
Stop.
I need,
Let
I
Simon
need
talk.
people.
Jesus, both
I
of you are
need
trying to
people
add
to stop
comments.
interrupting me when I'm
No,
talking. Okay.
Okay, please carry on.
Okay. I'm gonna say this again, and I don't give a crap if anybody likes this or not. Okay. I'm speaking from personal experience. It has nothing to do with G Plus or anything else. Okay. Even before G Plus and YouTube, I've had this experience. Okay. When I tell people that I am a Christian, okay, forget about the color thing. Okay, doesn't have anything to do with me being a black man. But the fact that I am a Christian. And when I talk to atheists, which you know, predominantly the ones that I've encountered were white, one of the first things that they want to bring up to me, because I'm a black man, is the fact of the issue of slavery. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not saying that it's only white people that are atheists that are doing this. I'm just telling you this is one of the reasons why I'm familiar with this argument, because of my personal experience. Okay?
Can I
Yeah.
respond to that now?
Okay, I'd like to say something there, which is the reason I'm familiar with it, is because G-Man continually brings this up and tries to justify
Because they
slavery.
bring it up to him.
And because he's a black man, okay, I find this abhorrent.
Right.
I'm a black
So,
man too.
Okay.
Can I say something
can I?
about it?
That's why I know the subject.
Okay,
My
that's
girlfriend
fine.
was-
Anybody else?
G-Man has
Rev,
had
why
a
did
very,
you need to jump in?
Yo, I didn't even get to finish making my point. You know what? You know what I realized about this? Vekl, you are an asshole.
Okay, Rev, don't just character attack.
wow.
No,
No,
let's
yeah,
just
that is
make
go back to
points
the
here.
Wow.
attack. That is that.
Let's make points here. Right. So,
I
Vekl,
will say this really quick. Okay,
I didn't get to finish my point.
I know.
One second!
Man, can
One
you just
second!
fucking yell?
One
You better
second!
Stop fucking
Okay,
yelling.
calm
You
the
need to-
fuck down.
Star Splitter, please.
You need to
Just
calm down,
we,
man.
don't,
Just-
we really don't want Rev shouting
I finish?
that
Can I
over the
finish?
earphones, all right?
Can I finish making
Rev,
my point? What I was
Rev,
saying?
Rev,
Rapping.
please.
You called him an
Rev,
ass.
I'm sorry, Star Splitter, hang on. Okay, Rev,
No.
it really, you cannot shout down your microphone anymore.
I'm sorry.
If you do that, I'm going to hide you from broadcast. Okay, you've got a warning. Please, carry on.
Who's talking? Because I just want to make a quick little point that I was saying.
Rapping. All you do is call him an
Okay.
asshole.
Yeah, I know he's an asshole because I'm also an asshole.
So that's not productive to the conversation.
Right, hang on. It may not be productive, but it's his right to say it.
That's
Vekl
true.
can respond to it. Okay,
Wait,
sideways.
I'm not,
Do you have
I'm
a separate
not
point?
done. There's one thing what I said what about this conversation. It's just weird to me to hear white people defend slavery.
What?
You don't hear white
You meant
people
to say
defending
black people?
slavery.
Black people defending slavery too. Just anyone defending slavery. That just boils my blood.
I agree.
You know, that's just one thing what I mean by it.
Well, hold on. That's a bit of a stretch here. Are we saying that we're like
No
wanting
one's defending
slavery
it.
to happen again, or something?
No, we're not.
Like, we-
No, we're not saying that. But I'm just saying, if you defend biblical slavery, you're defending slavery. It's weird for any black person.
No. There needs to be a correction here. First of all, no one is defending slavery.
Owning
I
other
think-
people as
I think
property.
what's ultimately being done here is that we're defending God's moral character as it's explained in the Bible. Because the reason why atheists keep bringing up the slavery issue is because they want to point the finger, just like Rev said in the beginning of this conversation at God. They
No one
want to
has
look
even
at things
proven
like
that God is
slavery.
real.
Why does
No
God
one has
allow
even
slavery?
proven
Why
that
does He
God is
Rapping.
real.
command slavery?
Rapping.
The ultimate reason why atheists keep bringing up the slavery issue is because they're looking for an excuse to condemn God, and to point the fingers at him and say he's immoral. That is
Okay.
why the issue of slavery keeps bringing up. It has nothing to do with slavery in and of itself, really, what it really boils down to. Christians
Right.
are not defending slavery. We're not saying that slavery should be applied to today.
I know one
Amen.
Christian that is.
Amen.
Okay, Stars.
Who, G-Man?
Bond.
Okay, so
G-Man's
you
not
keep-
defending slavery. He's defending
wait.
God's
Yes, he
moral
is.
character.
okay,
Yes, he is. He's defending.
is it? Am I allowed to respond now? Okay.
Go ahead.
Please.
Yeah,
So-
and be truthful.
Okay, so you keep saying the ultimate issue why atheists bring this up to is attack God's character. I
Which is-
didn't. That's projection. Okay,
No, it's true.
so Vekl, let me finish. That's projection. And to enter conversation by going, well, I think there's this argument that you're going to go down the path of, and I'm not actually going to listen to what you say. I'm just going to act like you're the other people I've talked to, is extremely disingenuous and extremely intellectually dishonest. Now, when you say that, well, no, I'm not
I
defending.
disagree with that.
Vekl,
and I'll prove to you
okay,
why when it's my
cool.
turn. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, you can disagree on your turn.
Now,
Now,
prove to you that you're wrong. Go
okay,
ahead.
sure, right. So originally, what you had said wasn't, as a Christian, atheists who happen to be white tend to bring up the slavery issue. You said that as a black Christian, white atheists bring this up, and it's not a race issue. In fact, nobody was really bringing the slavery issue up right now until
Oh, really?
Vekl, you want to
Wow.
let me talk now. Right, no one was bringing this up as much as it is now until people went out of their way to defend it. And it's not defending God's character because, if I was defending, Abraham Lincoln's character, right? Or no, let's do a better example. Let's say I want to defend the character of someone who was a slave owner. I said, look, I want to defend his character. I'm not defending the fact that he's a slave. Well, if the slave owner owns slaves, it's a part of their character, is it not? So if there's a part of God's character which said that in the past, or whenever, wherever, to whomever, in whatever circumstances slavery was okay, then...
How does it feel to be muted, huh? How does it feel?
Come on,
What the
man.
fuck are you doing? I muted him because he kept interrupting.
You're a piece of shit, but that's just my opinion.
Okay,
man.
you're a piece of
That
shit
was a-
too. That's my opinion. I
That
don't
was an
care.
asshole move. That was a low blow.
Copyright.
Well, how much longer
it's
are you
funny,
going to
but
go? I mean, are you
I
going
don't know,
to? You got 2
Vekl.
more
Maybe
minutes?
stop cutting me off. I can finish earlier.
Okay. Well,
Can
if
I
you got-
moderate? I'll actually set a timer if I moderate.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go for timer. Anybody disagree with having a timer?
Not really.
You have
Okay.
to have a timer on this subject. 'Cause this subject.
Peripheral. I've
yeah.
had that.
I would gladly publicly debate.
Okay, wait a second. Okay,
On the topic of biblical.
wait. Peripheral. I played that song in a video that I had. The circus music is
How does it feel?
Rev.
How does it feel? How does it feel? How does it
Vekl, you were saying something?
You know what's
Rev.
happening?
I'm telling him not to play
Okay.
copyrighted music in the fucking room. Shut the fuck up.
I think he's got a good right to say that.
can go fuck yourself?
Oh,
Cool.
okay.
If you want
That's
copyrighted
fair
music in the
enough, as
room,
long as
then
you're
you can
not
go talk
shouting.
to
I didn't play that music.
As long as you're
Right.
not
That's why I
shouting, Rev.
muted him.
Rev, please just keep the volume down. Say whatever you like. You're as much welcome here as me, but please just keep the volume down.
Do you want to stop muting me now? Being a little bit. I can just insult you and call you a
Okay.
fucker.
So we've now hit a
Fucker.
shitstorm. The clown car, as usual,
I told you we
act
shouldn't
like
talk
shit.
about slavery.
has
I
driven
wanted
in
to
the
talk about police brutality.
I'm done meeting you.
Good. Because you're
Okay.
acting like a kid.
Does anybody want to talk about police brutality? It's off the subject of religion.
It's
pretty
not off
sure
the
we
subject
are,
of religion.
It's off. We got to get off the slavery subject. It's too jam packed. It's too
Yeah, you're
emotional
absolutely
for
right.
both sides.
Because what ends up happening is we get a lot of straw men. At least from my point of view, from the atheist perspective, I'm willing to get into a debate with anyone in this room, atheist or not, about this topic, about biblical slavery. So if you really want to get into a discussion about it, let me know. I'll be more than happy and honored to get into a discussion about it. And interrupt it and moderate it.
If you want to poison the well a bit,
please. Okay, so that was the declaration. That doesn't mean we are going to have a conversation about it. Okay, that doesn't mean that we need to slag someone off for having the conversation about it. Okay, what we need to do is just chill, for fuck's sake. If we're going to have the conversation, we'll have it in a dignified way, and we'll have timing on it, because it is a heated subject. I don't think there's anything new that this community can learn because we've had it for 3 days straight.
Well, no, because I don't think it's even. I don't think it's
hang on, please, before you all jump in. I don't think Vekl's got anything to add to what G-Man was saying. Really? No, probably not.
I was just saying
slightly different.
So we don't really want to have the debates. So should we
not
have a debate about institutional racism instead?
Well, not here. I was just saying, in the future, maybe in a separate hangout,
I
if anybody's
appreciate you
interested.
saying that. Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's really the issue at this point. It's that there literally can't be a conversation because of this whole the atheists keep doing this. I know secretly why you're bringing up this argument. Well, you don't actually want to know.
It's
not a straw man. Wait, Simon.
No. Sorry, Sideways. What you just said there was maybe what I consider to be accurate. All right, but nonetheless, there's no point in stating it. We're just going to let Vekl get away with his little sly comments about people strawmanning him, and we're going to ignore the fact, okay, that we feel the same way about his arguments.
But you know what? With this argument, both sides know what the other side is already going to say.
No.
Exactly.
That's what Simon was saying.
Down to it. I know what Vekl.
I completely disagree.
I know what Vekl's going to say about slavery. I know what Gino's going to say.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do, but
you know what? You already accused me of
defending
slavery. You're right. You know what? You're right. I take that back.
Vekl,
I probably don't know everything. But you know what? Vekl did call out whoever want to debate him can debate him. You gotta give him his credit for that.
Yeah.
Indeed.
You gotta give him his credit. He said that.
Okay.
Simon, let me just clarify.
As a room, we need to make
Let me just clarify one thing. Again.
Sure, please, go ahead.
Okay. We are not defending slavery, okay? Let me make that abundantly clear. We are not defending slavery, okay? What I am defending, and what I think most Christians are defending and trying to defend, is the biblical standard as it's mentioned in the Bible, okay? First of all, because again, ultimately, why is this issue even brought up?
I think we should just leave it there. I think we should just leave it there.
It's not for today. Vekl has said many times it's not for today.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that, look, here's my two things. First of all,
we should leave it alone.
Wait.
Just leave it alone.
We're watching this.
All right, Vekl, please, Rapper. Okay, you made a point there, Vekl.
No, I didn't finish my point yet.
You are now, hang on a minute, Vekl. You are now about to go on and make another point. If that point isn't relevant to ending the conversation, if it's a point about beginning the conversation again,
it's going to end it. It's going to end it right now. It's going to end it.
It's not going to end it, Vekl. But okay, I'll let you have your speech.
Here's what I was going to say. You got to let me finish in order for you to know that, right?
No. Carry on.
Well,
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
One last thing. Only 1 minute. Less than 1 minute. I need to say it. Okay. All we're going to say is that we are not defending slavery. Okay. What I am doing, and what I think most Christians are doing, is simply challenging those who are arguing this issue with us, is the definition of slavery. That's really what we're arguing. Whether or not slavery in and of itself is actually immoral. I think that's the heart or the crux of this whole argument. That's what we're really arguing. Okay, and that's it.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Let's let it go. Now, does anyone, now that we got that out the way, does anyone want to talk about police brutality?